Hey guys, and welcome to your weekly general reading. So as you can see, I didn't lie. I am back on Mum and Dad's now for this next reading. As in the past couple of weeks, actually lied in one of them. I thought I was going, but I wasn't. I thought I wasn't going to get time to do the reading. But anyway, stopping right there. Back at home, Mum and Dad's. A few weeks till I move to Canada, so just getting all the prep done there. But I will get back to your weekly reading. So this one is from March 11th to the 17th, and I'll just introduce the cards. We have Ego. Practically all of these are major arcana too. We have number 13, Transformation, which is the Death card in the in the traditional tarot deck. We have Queen of Air with the Clarifier, Solitude, which is the Hermit in the traditional tarot deck. And then we have another major arcana, the number 1, Magician, with the Clarifier. The number 2, the Waiting Game, which is in our spiritual sector with this colour border. Then the bottom card of this deck is Ace of Fire, which we've been seeing nearly every week. And then the Clarifier, Base Chakra. So, that's interesting. I'll touch on that actually right now. This is funny. So this has just come up here. So that one I'm pretty sure is actually the Devil card in the traditional tarot deck, which is Temptation. So what I feel like they've just highlighted there for you guys, as we've got the Ego here, and as I've explained with the Ego card before, our ego is when we're identifying with our, how do I call it, our fear self, when we're disconnected from source energy. So what I feel like here, as we've got the Death card to actually, to clarify for that, but we've also got the Devil card here, we have, last week I explained about us connecting back to our heart chakra. There's a healing going on as we've gone through a massive transformation, as this card says here. And in order to kind of settle ourselves into this new level, we've had to do a lot of healing with our heart chakra, but also a lot of solitude time, hermit time. We need to go within. We need to retract from our external world, as ego means we've gotten caught up in the material. But what we've gotten caught up here, which is the Devil energy, this is self-imposed. We've done this to ourselves, and I feel like some of us may have, instead of going within with cleaning out the heart chakra, and this is where we directly connect to actually source energy too, is through our heart, also through the head chakra, the crown chakra, but the feeling of that connection comes through the heart when you're feeling settled into it. And I think instead of feeling this and healing this through, things like yoga, meditation, going within, we may have gone to the material instead. We may have had to try and fill our cup up with short-lived temptations. Let's go, oh, wrong card. We go with ice cream, or it could be something like alcohol if that's for you. We've been using other type of negative influences to kind of fill that cup in another way, which is, like I said, it's short-lived. And the Devil energy is we're self-inflicting it on ourselves with this. So instead of healing our heart, which is, the longer road, and it's a harder road through going within, going through our heart chakra, doing things that, and actually dealing with why we've had to heal as well from those negative influences. We may have actually gone into that energy. And what they're saying here is, this is the Death card here in the traditional deck. You need to kill those habits, guys. You need to stop those habits, stop those thought cycles that lead you to those habits, because everything begins with a thought, and you either follow the thought or you go, no, I'm not going to follow that thought, I'm going to do something else. And we may have gotten caught up in this ego self, and we've done it to protect ourselves. We've done this because we do feel quite raw. And when we're at our most raw, I feel like because I know with me personally, when we're at our most raw, we can actually get in touch with our shadow side, which I would never say to anybody to disconnect from their shadow self, because like anything, there's yin and yang in the universe, and there's yin and yang with us too. And you can't ignore the shadow self, but you also can't feed the shadow self in that way. There's a healthy balance between the two. You've got to be aware of it. You've got to know that it's there and know what triggers it, which is, the devil energy. You know the triggers that tempt you into those negative influences that hide you from yourself, essentially. And we may have kicked back into that. I feel like really what's happened here, we've actually we're fighting this new frequency we're in. This is not everyone, so if this doesn't resonate with you, then this week's energy for this is not for yourself. It could be for somebody else. But we could be just really struggling with this new energy frequency. We've tipped back into old habits through this transformation of killing the ego, which is what they're saying here. This ego needs to die. These habits need to die in order for you to stay in this realm. But we may have almost like freaked out into this energy frequency, and it feels like it's been too big for us to actually deal with everything that's happened, and we've had to go pretty deep within ourselves. And some of us have decide to check out, I feel like, with that and not go through it. But what they're saying here is to help you through this is to know that you need to face this. You can't avoid facing this and becoming the hermit and spending some time alone, because this is where you're going to get the insights you need to help actually heal you and to get a bit more structure in your life too with this Queen of Air energy. It's objective decision making, and it's clearing away all that no longer serves you, which is this habit, this ego, this devil energy that you've gotten into. And you need to develop structure with this. You need to develop structure in your mind and structure in your routine and stick to it, because it leads to this new beginning, which is the Magician, the number 1 card. But it's interesting here because I got the waiting game above this, and I feel like with this waiting game here, because this is in your spiritual sector, what I was kind of getting with the download, which is a little bit weird, but I feel like they're waiting on us to trust them, because this new energy and frequency we're going into, all this stuff that we're letting go is stuff that we've known for a very long time and have identified into our patterns, into our thought patterns, into our habits. We've identified with it, we feel safe with it. And I feel like with this new energy we're going into, it's new, it feels dangerous, we just don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like they're actually waiting on us to trust them to lead us the rest of the way, and know that their plan, which is essentially yours when you first came down here, is, what's the right word? Let me just tune in for a second. Is worth going for. That's weird, hey. It's worth it. It's worth trusting them. It's worth going through all this for the fruits that you're going to reap at the end of the day. This has been around us for a while now, and this is an exciting new opportunity. This is something that's really, it's the stepping stone. It's the stepping onto the new path, like the number 1. And this has been hanging around us for a while. So this has been available to us for a while, but we're in the stuck waiting game energy. We're in the waiting energy from actually, I feel like we're trying to find evidence in the external world to actually make us like, hey, give me some evidence of this is worth going through, because this is going to be really hard for me. There's a lot of work for me to do to get to this place, a lot of self-healing work, and it's hard, and I've been crying, I've been angry, been throwing tantrums, I just don't want to do it. Give me some evidence that this is worth me going through. I'm sorry to say, guys, but half the time, the evidence has to start within your mind, and you have to trust them and essentially trust yourself that you can go through this and you can do this. But it's going to start within your mind before you see anything in your external reality. You may see signs. They always give us signs. It's whether or not we can see them or not, whether or not we're aware of them. But you are waiting in this energy. You're stuck in this energy before this death comes here. You are willingly deciding to stay in this devil energy, which is essentially self-punishment. Let go, trust them, base yourself into, because I got the base chakra here, and how I'm actually interpreting that is basing yourself in this energy. Hello, cat. Sorry, just the cat's moving around. Is to base yourself in this new energy frequency, and it requires you to spend some time alone, get objective, get structure back into your routine. You've gone off the road for a little bit here. You've gone stuck in ego, devil energy, And now is the time to get structure back into your life, work out what draws you back to those negative influences and habits that you have. What are your triggers? Figure them out. Then you start on this new path. You get out of this waiting energy, and you'll see the fruits of your labor through this new opportunity. It is available to you when you decide to trust them and trust yourself. So I hope this reading has helped you. If you want to follow me on Instagram and just see some updates I have there, also you can DM me through there for a personal reading. It's at tiny.langshaw. Please share my YouTube video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, just to help support my work. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you guys next week.